Hey guys, Etsy has done a big announcement today or yesterday, and I don't hate this. It's some changes to our listings that should be really helpful to most sellers, hopefully. So let's dive into it. It is from this article, 2 new ways to set up your delivery strategy. Give shoppers more confidence and get more out of every sale. So the first thing is more accurate delivery times. I didn't even realize this was a problem, but now I know that it was. It's actually, yeah, this should have been fixed ages ago, but it's really great. Unique processing times to each variation you offer. So, which is the right page for this? Yep. So if you have variations on a listing, you can now add processing profiles to your variations. So here I have a listing that has 3 different variations. I can't do words today. And now for me, this doesn't matter because they all take about the same amount of time to make. But it is possible if I wanted to sell, say, a ready made sculpture of a border collie, as that's what this is, but I also wanted to do the option for custom. These would take different times to create. So you can attach different processing times to your different things. So I haven't even looked at this. So you can add processing times vary. What does that let me do? And then, so then you can just pick from your processing times, or it seems you've got profiles and it seems they've given, these are things that I've used in the past. So I could say something is literally ready to dispatch, or I'm going to make it to order. So I can put a different one in each of these listings. I do think that could be really potentially very handy. Excuse me, it's late. So very cool. Now, and also, I just had a customer message me and they're saying they were buying a thing, but they weren't sure if it was ready made or they would have to wait for it because Etsy don't make that clear. They do make it clear. My listing clearly said custom on it, but customers, what can you do? But your processing profiles will either have ready to dispatch or made to order label based on it, but they're not visible to buyers just yet. So I think this means that Etsy is going to be showing the label saying this is ready to dispatch, or it's made to order, or it's custom made. Come on, Etsy, but good to know. So you can sort that out in your shop manager. You can add any different profiles. So yeah, very handy. So they've given an example, and saying some things she can ship out, they're ready made. She can ship it out in 3 to 4 days. Some things she needs a week. Thank you, Etsy. Look, Etsy annoys us a lot when they do something good. We should give them a cookie. And then this one I noticed the other day. You're now seeing order. No, I think I saw it a couple of weeks ago. Not entirely sure. A new order breakdown is designed to give you a better understanding of how much you make on every order. For anyone who's new to Etsy or hasn't spotted this before, in the past you could go into your financial areas on your dashboard and see everything, but you couldn't see everything on an individual sale basis. So, and it's been put back in time as well. It's retro applied, so you can see it on current sales, but you can also see it on past sales. So you can go into an order, click on the order, and you've got your order details, and there's the new earnings tab. And this is kind of cool. So you can see a breakdown of what the buyer paid. So the price, the postage price, if there's any tax added, you can see all of that. And then if you've bought postage labels, you can see how much that cost you. Good to see. And your fees and credits. So you can see for that listing, I mean, it's been hard to get everything in one place before. I'm not entirely sure if they've got everything. I'll explain that in a minute. But you can see for this listing, that is how much the transaction fee is. That was how much the payment processing fee is. And in the UK, we have a regulatory operating fee, and that's how much that was. Now, I'm just I paused for a minute because in the UK we also have VAT, that's a tax added to this. Now, this isn't fees that are paid to Etsy, this is taken from us and paid to the government, but it still comes off your listing, so I don't know if they count them. It doesn't seem to be. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about that. So it's a step forward. You still have to take into account other things, but I think this is going to be really handy for new buyers, new sellers, people who haven't quite got a hang of what's going on with how much the fees are. Because quite often they'll say, "Oh, I made a sale, but Etsy took all the money." But they didn't necessarily take the money off of that sale. You might have been listing fees, you might have been an Etsy Plus account. So it's good to see on that listing. Of course, it's not getting into the taxes, it's not getting into how much it cost you to create the listing, but it gives you a start at saying, when I sell this kind of thing, from Etsy for that listing, that's how much. So you can factor in the other things to really understand your profit a little bit better, hopefully. So I think it's kind of cool. But yeah, so that's the two things that Etsy have done. Yeah, so I think it's handy. Yeah, it does say it doesn't share time and labor and stuff. But yeah, I think that's a nice little addition that Etsy's given us, hopefully helpful to some sellers. It's not going to make you rank higher, it's not going to give you more sales, but hopefully it just helps you manage your shop a bit better. The variations one, that should have been in right from the start. I'm not sure why it wasn't, but anyway, let me know what you think.